Alright, bobbus gaming. Here, I'm gonna do your VOD review, finally, for once in my fucking life. And instead of just pussyfooting around it and not wanting to, or not thinking about having anything to say, I'm just gonna start recording and do it. So, for my choice of matches, I just haven't played with you in a long time, so there's not like a deep list of them. And then I went to your CSGO stats to try and download some older matches that I thought would be good candidates, and all the demos had expired since then. So I think this is the best candidate for a good match. I did have this match played with you with the 12 to 16, and it would have been fine to review. I don't really want to review a poor performance where it's just like you're underperforming and you're underfragging, because that can usually be like a lot of the finer details are lost to you either not having a good warm-up or you just not, like, it just being an inconsistent day, which is entirely possible for our skill level especially. Or in this case, it's literally a hacker. This guy was banned, VAC banned later on, and he's since hidden his entire account and gone private, like the little fucking pussy he is. So this one's good because you did pretty well. Most of your frags come from the T side. We as a team collectively do pretty good. Save Nick, some good important rounds, but I think this is probably going to be a good VOD to look after, given the CT side can use some work. I don't know if we were just fucking around the second half, but we'll see. Let's just watch it. Right. Don't care about warm-up. And we want to see our nice boy stay hydrated. What a good reminder. So we're doing our classic strat probably, which is go B-ups, sit down. Or maybe we haven't implemented this at this point if we're not going B. Maybe we're doing something else. We're just throwing some nades mid. Immediately, it was just useful util, of course. People should have your back. You're playing correctly, like you trust your teammates. You're throwing the nade mid just to get the window guy. You dropped your smoke on cat, or into con. Was it a good smoke? Well, it hasn't come up yet, so. Yep, it was a good smoke. I'm just gonna shoot through it. That was super unlucky, I guess, on me. Oh no, it was not quite a good smoke, so probably if we want to do that, then I mean, it's like an easy smoke to throw, but I guess it's easy to fuck up too. Maybe this is just an issue with the smoke itself. They were also just fucking ready for it. Two of them were already over here watching for this shit. They 4-stacked on A, like one with mid window as well. Got a little bit unlucky with that. So the cat smoke was critical too, right? And they're gonna play more aggressive because it's pistol round, I think. Play this out a little bit more. I want to go back to my boy. I can't find him. He's already dead. Fuck it. Next round. Pistol rounds don't matter that much. That was just unlucky. Largely just unlucky. 7. Okay, that's the button I hit to find you real quick. Why are we timed out? Someone's pooping. Okay. Stop. Slow it down. Okay. So we are going mid. We have 3 AKs already, so we're taking the fucking long duel, right? They're missing a guy. They're not playing mid right now, which is a little bit lucky for us. You're in apps. I was watching myself, wasn't I? I'm dumb. Alright, so you're going under, which is good. Having the people that have the weaker guns go under. And if we take top mid, then that's going to be useful for us.
Grenade out.
So I think that what we need to collectively be better at as a team is be doing the counter strafing peek, where instead of just like walking out to peek an angle that we think people are going to be there, It's like, why are we not doing the slow jiggle peek like AD, where it's not slow, but you're doing like the full run stop before you actually make a stepping sound for spots that you know that you're gonna be good to check, especially in the one that where you're checking con. Man, I don't think you can go free cam on this. 9. Yeah, but in the con, in the corner, what the this is so weird. Whatever. In the con corner, in the back left, or of a... I'm sorry, bobbus. I'm trying to show. When you're peeking this corner over here, my mouse isn't showing up off of it. On the left side of con in the corner, it's like you're pretty much isolated to everything else because we got your con, or at least we should have your window watched, right? So they're not going to be able to peek out there without you being traded, especially because you have a Glock, right? The jiggle peek is just going to be much more effective at, like, even if they see you, they're probably not going to be able to react and shoot you in time. And you get the info, and we can then accordingly react as a team, right? We can get flashes out, or you can even take a fight right there. Just like jiggle peeking with the fucking Glock and being able to take their face off is so useful. It's just so good. I've gotten, like, before in the past with the Glock and just like jiggle peeking people that can't fucking react in time. I've gotten like a 3 or 4K with it. Not because I'm good, but just because the peek is so effective. So right here, you're waiting for something, but often enough, people can come and peek up on cat. I don't know why my mouse isn't like appearing. That's really annoying. So I'm trying to move this around so you can see. But they can come up and peek right here, and this is where you're most going to be vulnerable. And every single time that you're going to be in this situation, in this under window spot, I'm usually looking up here, especially if you have teammates that are going to be watching your window, because they got that covered. And it's like, even if they walk up right here, unless I'm chair or someone is already chair going to be watching it, I think that's where they're going to come out. So that should just be like your go-to, like, watching that. Or even sometimes a con if you're suspicious of it. See, if he came out a little bit earlier and your teammate hadn't jumped on your head first, then they could have peeked out and just fucked us up. So we just got the luck of the draw and the timing right there, but that would have been a good practice. Right now, what is the situation going on with the team? I'm not totally sure where we're at. Right there, in terms of like keeping this repeaked, I think it's fine because, yeah, he has an SMG, you have an AK, you just have the advantage. He can try and peek out to you, but you don't have head armor, so you're much more vulnerable, right? I don't know if it one-shots with the ump right there, but it's a lot more fucking scary. We know the last guy is going to be on B. I don't think we have cat smoked off. So you in the back, you or Nick in the back should have, I think, immediately turned your attention towards watching the flank, right? Because if he pops out cat even afterwards, then he just gets 3 pot shots at us. This guy's in a 1v4. A little bit of a flub nade, but I like the idea of clearing out the palace and like trying to get the spot out, because you're just going to be getting such a good post-plant position that it's a little bit worth getting into there. Eric still has flashes that could have been useful for taking down palace, but at this point it's a 4v1. We don't. It's hard to go that try hard in a situation that is this one winnable, right? And we're just not good enough to have it as the default. That we're just like, okay, we're gonna get this position out. There's expectations. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay. So right here, he could have already been peeking out behind pillar. You came across the corner and you weren't watching him peeking out. He could have been even faster. He could have even come out behind the right pillar. The crosshair placement is so key. It should have been head level on the right side. You should have been ready for this guy. Because the rush downs, especially with the third rounds where we won the second one, their money's going to be a little bit fucked, and they're going to be looking to play more aggressive. Good shot. It's all about being ready, though. Because the ecos is seriously about the elements of surprise. It's your most gigantic advantage. That guy fucks you up from that corner. I usually get fucked up too whenever they push that side. It's a pretty like strange advantage, like whenever they're able to push up like this. I think that since they are on eco, yeah, we should be expecting that they're more pushed up, especially if we kind of get onto site free. Without like going back and reviewing it, I don't think you were necessarily, it was like just a strict mistake for what you did. Seven. God. I'm probably going to focus more on, yeah, more aim, more individual play than I am in the macro sense, because I don't think I can handle both of them at the same time. That's pretty good. I'm not sure if that guy can see you in the corner right there. I don't know, like, your spatial presence. Yeah, so Gunth, or who was it? It was Eric getting the entry frags here. I think at this point, like, if someone is going to be playing on Palace, then you making footsteps up here. No, you running out with Eric is definitely more important. I think that you guys both getting into the site is a good amount of, is really important. And the guy that would have been playing Balk for like a late frag on a guy coming Palace is a little bit nullified, unless he's insanely patient. So a little bit of whiffs on that, but still good. Still a strong position, even if they were stacked onto the site. It was very strong. So how did we get caught out right there? How did we get into the situation? I'm gonna go back to this so we can watch. So this is gonna be the last guy, right? The very last guy. Well, we just got confirmation of where the guy died from, of a teammate, and that's why the bomb dropped right there. So he could have been window. So if he's not in window, if he's not in the corner, then he just has one other place to go, which is just out of window. Unless he's sick and then goes to fucking does the short jump. But yeah, he's not gonna do that. Pulling the knife was just probably a flaw. That's scary. I like that. It was a good spray control, just holding the corner. I come out, frag, like always. The presence of mind of like balancing whether or not where your teammates are, where they died, and like where the last person or the last few people could have been is, it's actually just a, it's in the same way that StarCraft isn't necessarily a game of how would I describe it? It's a resource management, but in terms of attention, right? So we need to manage our attention in this game where we're looking at the minimap and we're figuring all these things out, and we're doing up the spatial awareness in our head while also paying attention to the shit on our screen, so that we don't just get caught with our pants on our fucking head. It takes a lot of active thinking. You have to be seriously on, your brain has to be on all cylinders. So now it's a 3v2 or 3v5, 2v5 even. We just got our shit fucked up on A site mid. Right here, this is fine. He might want to get greedy and push. Oh, you can also see his feet through that little corner. A lot of people, when they throw that smoke, they want to get into that corner, so just keeping an eye on that might have been useful. Getting ready for a push in case he wants to do it. You guys are kind of deciding what you want to do. You like are aware that he could be there, but you still walk past it as if like he's not going to be. That might just be part of like the splitting up your attention thing. Because you're trying to make it, trying to do a play. Money, yeah, money's good to make a play, to try and do it. I think you guys end up getting this 2v5, right? Unless I'm thinking of a different game.
Throwing fire.
Decent peaks. Good shot.
I'm throwing smoke.
I think the smoke was a little bit like... I think you went halfway between wanting to like smoke the plant and just smoke the cross for them entirely. I think it would have just been the most optimal decision at this point for a 2v4 is just to just to prioritize the bomb plant, right? And I think that's just putting the bomb on top of your teammate. Yeah, so you isolate Cat, which is good. You make it so no one can push up at the moment. Getting into the exact same spot where your teammate was, extremely strong play. I like it. Good crosshair placement. Fuck. I needed to hit the pause beforehand. I want to watch over this round one more time. Because this is where I think that some of my strengths come in. And how to handle situations. Let's go. Okay, so at this point, you know that one guy's Cat, at least, right? Or wherever, Ghost Malone. So you know one guy's door. Probably gonna be at least two. You molly it off of Cat. If they're a good team, they're not all fucking coming from a market. One could come apps, but in a 1v4, you just have to put your back to something, what you're doing, and just like hoping that they don't come from there. You gotta make some sort of risk. You get a good headshot on this guy. So now you've essentially revealed your position. So you want to get the jump on this guy. You want to peek out this guy. Great decision. I would have done this 100 times. Just miss the shot. That's fine. At this point, you are trying to reposition one more time to try and get a different peek on someone else who is also coming out. Crosshair placement is like you want to do it, but you're very frantic. Slowing yourself down a little bit would probably go a long way. The crouching is a little bit fucked too. He just has the Krieg, he has the Scopy, the COD gun, free win, etc., etc. I like the way you play it, but the crosshair placement I think goes a long way for aim, and I think that could have assisted you. It's just so overpowered, just crosshair placement itself. It's like you're doing your aiming beforehand. It's like you're literally preparing your aiming by just placing your crosshair. And the control over like being able to turn corners and having full control of it at like all times, and the smoothness of it is, I think, a big part of aim. It's not all about the flicks or the corrections. So we're setting up for A. I like it. You're holding for the peak or for the rush. We don't really hear anything immediately, so we're kind of free to do shit. So our setups. So you're pulling your pin right there. I don't like pulling the pin until later on, because if someone is close, then they're already getting an idea. They heard a molly thrown. They heard the pin pull. They could have heard something else that was already thrown. And that's just like all information that could have told them that we're already here and like how many people are here. And that's something I'm always listening for as well. So that's where I'm trying to speak from. So not pulling the pin is super important. Until the last second, of course.
Throwing flashbang.
So we peek out. You're entry fragging. You got to take the line. You don't really see anyone in your sight immediately, but we know someone is under. They're not really an immediate presence. Big flash. Just kind of spray in the flash. Not much you can do about that. You're holding for the under. Good molly. 2 good mollies, in fact. Yeah, we already killed him. You got to realize that he's either gonna be running out, so he's not gonna peek out from the back, I don't think, or he's just gonna die, and you got to leave him to die. And the position that you were just shooting that from, you probably just gotta turn your back to him and let either your teammates handle it, or I guess if no one else is gonna be watching it, you call it, and then you're just watching for him to run out. Staring at the kill feed goes a long way, and seeing when he dies. I like this play sitting on stairs, but right now, a teammate's dead. It's a 4v2. You're kind of taking yourself out of the fight, and you're hoping that someone is just gonna run ahead, and you're gonna be able to get like a flank on them. It's a cute idea, but now it's in a 2v2 because you haven't been able to help and you haven't been able to trade a frag. Bunt gets that trade frag though. This guy might just be watching smoke as well. That's a good catch out. Ended up paying off. I don't think it was a... I think the decision could have been more optimal overall. The positioning. Oh, I skipped through that. I'm sorry. Just trying to think. Okay. Right here, again. They can get here very fast, and you're not ready for it, and you're not already peeking the corner. And that's spooky, because if this guy has good aim, and he has the pistol, because you were mostly stationary in that fight, you just actually die, because you don't get the advantage with the Kree, the rifle, and one-shot headshot, right? This is bad, because you are trying to wallbang someone who... If they were there in a better position and you're trying to wallbang them, it's like, that's decent, but you're doing it from a position that is just exposed to everywhere, right? You're exposed to CT, and you're scoping down. You're exposed to triple if they peek out. You're exposed to jungle. You're exposed to stairs. You're exposed to con, I believe, from the box on top. I do like the presence of mind to try and wallbang him, however. It's outweighed by the risks. And in the same way, for a lot of this shit, I know you're thinking about the game itself and the strategies, and it's like, I can think about the aim and how to critique you on certain mechanics and like peeking out and shit, but your head is somewhere else where you're trying to coordinate the team in an IGL position. And it's really difficult to manage those two things. So I'm trying to keep that in mind.
Flashbang.
And you should keep it in mind too with your critiques. Or with my critiques of you. But it's also a lot of stuff that it's like you can learn on your own and become second nature, and you don't have to think about a lot of these like fragging mechanics.
Grenade out.
So we left bomb and spawn. It's a 3v4, and we're still pushing on the site. It's like we're trying to clear this, and it would be sick if we got the thing, but we're in such a gross position right now with our default as a team that it's just like, I don't think that taking the site would be very useful. Maybe our idea is the flank will be too juicy to give up, but now it's like, okay, now it's a 3v2. I guess I even it up.
I'm throwing a flashbang.
That's just lucky, though. They have the ability to keep people on sites when they have the numbers advantage like that, and you're just giving them another 1v1. coming from a spot where they know you're going to be, and then you have to check all those positions. So they have defender's advantage. I think taking the site might have been a little bit risky, but I don't know for sure. Holding a position right now. I'm in apps, so I'm holding this. Erica's holding church, or Eric, church is holding cat. And the only thing we don't have watch is actually window, but it's smoked. Oh yeah, I can see out the left side. So he's gonna swing on you from over here if he does come out, because either way I have that covered. So this is a fine post plant. Okay, get the free kill there. It's gonna come out here. And headshot. Yeah, headshot. I think that was a testament to missing the head for like crosshair placement at head level. It's a little bit of a hard skill to get down, but especially when you think you're peeking right. I think you're above their head a little bit. And I think a lot of our team doesn't have great head level awareness. And that might be, it's like, I think a good way to practice that is like DMs, like holding angles and like waiting for people to come out. Like when you're crouching, the different depths, I guess they can come out from. Like they're either like right here or they're like further back. So it's like if they come out from behind the same wall, then they're going to be at different head levels and what you think they're going to be at, etc. But the crosshair placement, if you're too high at that level, you're assuming they're going to come out as close as possible, and even then I think that's too high. Probably want to average it somewhere in the middle and do the micro correction. So if you're going to be in the window like that right there, I think you're too close to arches. You might have been more like, if you heard his footsteps up here, he could have been peeking you from that angle, and you were revealing yourself to all these spots over here. Dude, I wish I had a fucking mouse to deal with. I only have to drag this around so you can see. That's so sad. That's depressing. Yeah, you were revealing yourself like all these spots over here, so it's a little bit risky. You might have been aware that they were only playing 1 on B for a while. Might have been a smart decision. So I want to see what this molly actually does in terms of, because I know we do this a lot. Yeah, so it's a good molly. Like, it prevents them from actually walking across if you get it like far enough left. They might already be past it, and you have to be aware of that. That they could already be market, and that's not cleared. Or they could already be door, and that's not cleared. So I got the side of my head blown out. I don't know if that was my fault, or it was probably my fault, or if a teammate should have been watching the side of my head. It's probably a little bit too ambitious of a spot, too forward. Yeah, you heard his footsteps. I think looking market is like, you knew where he was. You knew if he was right there. You're looking market because you're scared someone else might come out. But that's just risky. You obviously just want to look at that. Maybe it's like against an SMG. I don't know if you want to take the fight outright like that. When we have that advantage, we can just like keep peeking behind things over and over again. I love the do-si-do. Do-si-do is just my favorite thing in the entire world. Especially when you have an apps guy to cover you.
Come on, chop, chop. Throwing a flashback.
Okay, so your footsteps can be heard here. Three knows where you are. You stopped running too fast. Your crosshair again isn't anywhere near where they're gonna be. If you're thinking that they're gonna run out and they can run out wide like that, that's fine. But oh yeah, you saw his head. I think you were looking at the mini map and you weren't expecting someone to push up like that. That's fine. It looks like you just weren't present on the screen right here, and you're trying to think about the team. And that's that balancing act. If you fucking learn how to get better at it, tell me. Because I'm bad. So how are we playing this round? We have one guy mid. We have 4 on A. This feels dangerous, right? Because we think they're gonna have guns. They ended up winning this round, or the last round, because they have AKs. AKs, SG. He could already be waiting right there. That peek was a slow peek. You didn't use a flash. We weren't sure whether or not they were there. You should have done the counter strafe because no one else is going to be peeking you. You have all the ability in the world. In fact, it's like making a step isn't even going to be an issue at this point. Like the silence is unimportant as opposed to getting the good, nice, fast flick or a fast peek. Same thing.
Throwing a flashback. Flashback. Throwing flashbang.
It's like I think the top con right here should be treated the same as window, in terms of like being scared of it, because they can easily just come there. He fucking zooms around in your screen. That was funny. So what does it tell you that he jumps around right there? I'm not totally sure what it might tell you. I think it might mean that no one else is gonna be present around this area. Because he checked under, and now he's going to be running A. Good frag. We're all getting fucked up on A. Good flank. He doesn't have the time to tell his teammate or for them to be aware of it. I'd like this try. Unfortunately, didn't make the jump. Like going murder hole and then getting like a big flank would have been strong. Why did you peek mid so late game? He's not wrong. It was pretty late. It was a big flank. I would have been upset about it too, but if it was strong, it's strong. Year 1 reload. Of course, he's on site. And he just gets the fat fucking jump on you. I think that comes from just needing to be able to understand your angles and where they're watching from there. Firebox is capable of isolating stairs super strongly, or super well from that position, so that should be the first thing that you're looking for when you're peeking out. You should be able to jiggle peek it and get the fucking pre-fire headshot, right? I guess not necessarily a pre-fire headshot because you could be in like a few different spots, but there's a very common position that you were not checking as you peeked out. We're just fucking getting our shit out there, running it out. We have the bomb. I think you were staring like out the window over there, and we were already out there. I think you could have gotten away with looking at Cat without engaging him if someone was on Cat, like up here, just for the info and being able to relay that to teammates. So you're just staring at the floor. You gotta be ready. You just gotta be head level already. It has to be head level at all times.
Flashback.
See, it's like you're doing the jiggle peek, but you're making the steps. And if someone is like out window already, then they know where you are. They know where someone is, and that's hard to do. Or that's makes it just easier for them to deal with. Now we're rushing him down because you have Deagle and he is up, and we want their fucking up. Yeah, bun. Take that shit off of him. And now we got 3 up. Got a fast peek. Good shot. Good position. Taking advantage of the position. Be ready for someone else who's gonna try and rush it. Maybe I don't think if his positioning told you anything, but you're ready for this. So it's not like you're expecting him to come up, but you're ready for it anyways.
I'm throwing a flashback.
So you're ready for that. Your teammate killed him.
Flashbang.
It's a good flash. This is a quick round. Easy. We're almost done with the half. 2 more rounds. So Eric is slowly taking out these angles over here. The only thing he's going to be exposed to is stairs. I think you're trying to get the refrag on it. He already shot, so if someone's going to be stairs, then they're ready to to get the trade. Just taking the op and then backing away was a good idea. Regrouping is probably important here. More important than anything else. Let's see what's going on over here. Okay. Oh, they're sneaking into the fucking T-Con. That's unfortunate. That's super strong from them.
I'm throwing smoke.
And that sucks. They're just fucking both in there. I don't know why they're both chilling in there, but they are. Maybe they just had a read on like stacking one position, and they're just like, hey, we should go. We think they might go A, so let's save this. Or let's just take a risk and go here.
I'm throwing a flashback. Incendiary out.
Okay. I'm going B. He mollied it, so he's not going to be up close. He might be on Dowd. I'm always scared of peeking in the molly smokes because, like, into mollies at all, because it's like, even if they might be totally covered on your screen, depending on their distance, depending on their fucking settings, I don't understand the consistency of mollies and how much they cover your screen. Especially with an op, they might have a lot better visibility just because they're super zoomed in, so that's risky. So, yeah, you peeked into it. If you knew he was going to be right there, I think it's fine. Just going for the headshot. I think if you're peeking into someone like that, you're always just going for the headshot. Good. Good peek. Good heady. So, yeah, he could have already been market. Someone could have already been there, and I don't think that you were ready. You were at least like a couple seconds behind. I think gun priority, being out and then not letting yourself being exposed while having a molly out to a position that you're trying to hold. And you're just holding the middle of market. They might have just both been there and you were waiting. Okay, now we're getting to the side where things really slow down for us and we just start kind of fucking up. This is gonna be interesting to see what went wrong for all of us. Oh, Nick picks it up too. He got 3 frags the first half. That sucks. But I know at the end he at least does a lot better. So what do we know about mid? We know that Eric probably saw a bunch of the mid. I guess they could come apps at this point. Yeah, you're just gonna get the flank. Nice flank. You're mulling it, maybe a little bit too little, too late. Could have been strong just a tiny bit earlier, but our game sense isn't quite there yet. And he just gets a fucking thick headshot. I think this was an easier fight for them because they're able to run around and you have to like crouch down, and it's just an easier target for them to be into the ladder room. I think your hope was that they're just not going to be there and you're going to be able to just go window room and then position from there. So it's all our risks when we have a disadvantage. You got to take those risks to get the lead back. You heard one step and then you threw your nade, your molly. I heard that step. Unfortunately, he was going under. So one guy's coming up cat right now. Let's see how you react to this. You hear footsteps. Yeah. Should have been watching the corner. I know you wanted to look at this because you're listening for footsteps a little bit more. But if he turns the corner, you got to be ready for it. You don't want to flick woo, all the way over there. You want to be able to flick like just a tiny amount. So he may or may not have seen you at that point. The flash, unfortunately, wasn't effective for how close he was. He was running around with his goddamn fucking piece of shit SMG the entire time. For flashing, it's just like, yeah, the way the fucking hill works right there, I just don't think that floor flashes ever feel like they work for me. And I don't know if they ever really work for a lot of people. I think I prioritize trying to do like in the air flashes, or even just like getting the flash out and then peeking before it goes because they're gonna be looking away. I think getting a distance on the SMG too would have been good, or trying to get the headshots would have been a better play with the USP. I think that's what you're doing. I don't think he expected you to run up on you. Stacking it, B, running cat. Eric's in mid window. I like this. I just like the idea of this play because Eric's going to be distracting them and it looks a little bit normal. This guy's already fucking up cat, so he's going fast cat. Again, an insanely strong position that we don't use or like have a player for. And it's just like, it's so fucking different. He came out the flank. I want to say that should have been more of your responsibility, but I don't think that I would have been able to handle that too. I wouldn't have expected that. And I probably wouldn't have been looking there either. And there's two people, and you do the classic spray between the targets that I'm a victim of all the time. You try and hit both of them at the same time, you just end up fucking shooting in between them. It's the worst feeling. Also trying to use the AK without armor and getting name punched is a tall order. It's doing jump peekies. I get what's your util. You just got full util. You're shooting from a spot that they might be able to figure that you're on balcony. You threw that from a position that they could hear the pin pull. And that they know you're on balcony. They're going to be able to hear your drop down if anyone is in apps. I think at this point, if he dies and you know he's close up enough, if someone's going to be coming cat, that guy's going to be close and they're going to try and be coming out very soon. And I think I want to kill the guy apps first, and just for me. And then I want to use the position in apps to just have a lot, or like have the high ground advantage on the people coming cat. But I don't think this is necessarily a bad decision. I'm just more scared of the guy if he's going to be coming out of smoke. But there isn't a guy here.
Grenade out.
I think checking the corner should have been a higher priority. Your back left corner to where you are right now. Just listening for where he is. You heard him mid somewhere. He took fall damage, I believe. Yeah, he did, because I can't shoot him from Tetris. You are sitting in a spot that is just entirely exposed, and I'm scared of that. But good timing, God Gamer sense timing makes it so that you don't get your back shot out. It's like what I was trying to get at in the last round. It's like, I think if we're going to be in a position like that where we have the advantage, if we're playing one on each site, then minimizing the flanks that they can come from, because they could be anywhere. They could realistically just come from anywhere, and you have to think of them as a magician. And if you minimize the amount of angles and flanks that they can come from, and you just play for sound, then if you can't immediately swing on them and kill them when they're planting, then we at least have we can at least call it out, and the teammate can come rotate like as soon as possible, especially with sound, instead of taking the 1v1 and then knowing that they're safe. Because if you plant for sound and they don't see you and they don't hear you and they don't know that you're on site, then they might think that you're both going to be coming from like A site, right? If he plants on B, and you just have a stronger position for flanks on angles. If this feels like a lot of stepping. I think we might collectively as a team have an issue with that. Like underpass guy immediately knows that you're gonna be cat. We heard someone shooting in upper, so they've confirmed that there's 2 on B. There's only 3 left. We're still stepping here, so they're still able to confirm at like all times if like whether or not there's someone here, or if there is someone here that there's gonna be someone. How we got here was we knew they were mid. We knew they had control of mid. That was he was so far pushed up compared to I think what anyone would have expected. So he just got the jump on you. I think that probably when they take mid like that, I think you might want to go mid sooner. Be it from cat or through market and going to window room and holding murder hole. But if you get a stronger anchor position where you're in market and you get more sound cues to where they might be trying to bias their team towards, then you can react faster and we're just stronger as a team overall. With Nick if he's anchoring on B and they can't come from apps like that, then I think that's just overall stronger instead of having one person watch apps and one person watch cat. I think Nick can do both, and that's just how you have to play the disadvantage. Okay, just doing a big rushy, big flashy. Maybe you need to be a little bit more ready to peek out as soon as your visibility comes out. That's just nitpicking though. So they could be anywhere. They could have already come con. They could have already come fucking jungle or something. I don't like that you weren't looking there. Maybe you were just thinking. Maybe you knew that we had some spots covered, but I'm always just scared. This guy's going to be holding a very strong position on market. Don't know if we're going to be ready for this. So I think we're debating whether or not to go for it because we have 3 rifles but no armor. And they have 2 rifles. Don't know what we ended up doing. Oh god, it's so strong. So you do check it a little bit, but we don't get the full check. This is gigantic flank. He's so patient. He doesn't even fucking shoot you guys. He's so crazy. He absolutely throws. Oh, he doesn't throw. He mollies it. He's a god. Insane. Yeah, I think this is a round where they're just like, where the hell did he come from? I would have shot you guys as soon as I saw it too. He might have just not seen you in the first place. I think he was still staring at the cabinet or at the shelving. But yeah, that's about one of those just checking the corners. Especially when they've had B site for so long, I think that position is a pretty common one to hold. Not too common, but not rare enough to not warrant checking. To warrant not checking. That nade was probably, yeah, I guess it was just a bad nade. We had the spot already checked. It wouldn't have hit someone in the corner. That was pretty deceptive. I wouldn't have been able to tell that before, and it looks like you can just hit someone. What the fuck? So they're getting destroyed by Molly. Molly Bunth. You should stop. You should stop running much sooner, I believe. I think if they were more aware, or if they were just playing a little bit further back, they could have heard your positioning way quicker. And that flank would have been nullified. They might have been ready for it. So you gave bomb up. Yeah, you got bomb down, and you're kind of giving it up a little bit. I think that falling back to this position, like under stairs, would have been a much better play than otherwise. You can't make up your mind because you're trying to think of something to do. I don't think you realized that you had the bomb down, if I'm recalling correctly. This was a while ago. So you probably would have made the correct decision if you did realize that the bomb was down. The famous king brings it out again. Y'all double molly up. I don't know if you heard something. I don't think you did. You talked about doing reactive mollies all the time as well, like just to doing it for sound rather than anything else. Get baited by the decoy grenade. That's chill. I do too all the time. Oh. So Nick's called he's on a big secret ninja mission. He's called someone out. You're ready to come back. Maybe you were misled by his call. You might have thought they were just further back here. You probably should have been watching window immediately. Crosshair placement, you're still staring down here. You should be looking up here and scared of someone. Like, I'm just always imagining in these spots that someone's gonna be staring right at my fucking skull, and it's coming down to server and reaction time to whoever's gonna headshot the other one first. That's what I'm always scared of. If that's on your mind way more, then it gets much stronger. Oh, you just fucks them all up. They have no idea what's coming. Oh, I know where the last guy is. Good smoke. Don't let him get any advantage. Fuck malarkey. Good smoke idea, I guess. Went a little far. It just comes down to good grenade mechanics. He got like a little bit of a weird out of sight line kind of flank through the smoke. So he almost got you guys if he had a bit better aim. And that might come down, like, I don't think I like shooting through a smoke like that. Depending on what kind of gun he has, because the bullet traces and like shooting bullet traces is genuinely like so strong. Okay. So, I'm gonna go back because the way it pauses and like versus like what it was is a bit strange. Okay. Let's see. This is gonna be a big round. So you're flashing that. Eric is already in short. Bunth is watching a smoked off con. I think it was just thrown or something. Might be playing for sounds, but you're pretty much peeking alone at this point. I think that maybe you thought he was window, but I think that this is a very aggressive peek. You reveal yourself both to back here and to high chair. I think you wanted to isolate each one instead of giving yourself the big wide peak, and maybe giving it just a little bit more patience for the to see like what they wanted to do and how they're posturing up mid.
Grenade.
So you got smoke up quick. I haven't heard any footsteps. So they're playing it slow or what?
I'm throwing a grenade.
If they were playing it slow and they're already here, this is scary. This is terrifying to me. Oh, they might have already heard callouts over here, so you're just pushing for the flank.
Smoke.
I think you guys could have gone away with a smoke or a flash peek. I'm fine with being aggressive, but the util was there that you probably should have gone for the flash, and then the push. So you're still hiding your presence. I'm fine with this. People might see it as baiting, but it's just like the position, the flank is too strong to give up. Unfortunate, he ended up watching the flank. Probably bottom con isn't. Yeah, I guess it's not too super strong of a flank that it's just like you like guaranteed one. Probably from teasers like this, but at this point it's 1v5, so they're gonna be watching everything. Nick gets on the pot. The thing that he can't get down from without making footsteps. He's just going for exits, right? Yeah. There's not much more to watch. Dehydrated. Drinkies.
Throwing a grenade.
Okay. We do our classic rush. We got pistols. We hear them top mid. They know we're now top mid. Right here, in my opinion, I always want to fucking turn around. But if they're going to B, I think we might have heard shit on B site. So I guess coming around. Yeah, I want to stay as 5. I don't like this. Like, if we're just going to keep pushing like that, I think our position's so much stronger. Like, as a big ol' Exodia. Like, I think we move as a unit as Exodia right here. I'm not really going to critique anything else in this round, though. It's just pistols.
Fire. Throwing flashbang. Grenade. Flashbang.
Okay.
Grenade.
We get fucked up mid.
Throwing fire.
So that reveals a lot to them, depending if they're under. You could hear them. Like, there's 2 people that are dead mid. Someone's now dead in apps.
Smoke.
They just have a gigantic advantage. I think that peeking window there is just, yeah, risky.
Throwing fire.
I think we're choosing the save now. 5 is going for insane fucking hunt down.
I am blending them
And we're just wanting to get into Palace. Yeah, we're wanting to get into good, safe positions. I'm trying to think of how this goes. If you're just making, like, for a hunter or for someone coming, maybe a little bit too many footsteps. I guess he didn't hear it, so that's fine. Wait, did he? I think he did hear it, and he's waiting for you.
We're getting stuck right into them.
I don't know how your gun looks. I think you're looking into the wall so that your barrel doesn't show out, but this, I don't know if this is wide enough to justify. Oh!
Smoke.
Yeah, that's what I was worried was happening. And the M4A4 or A1S is inferior once again. Crosshair placement should have been more tight, because if you don't hear any footsteps, they're going to come out very, very slowly. I think they still have the advantage in that situation, but you didn't want to do that because of the big ass long ass barrel. Oh, that's half.
Laying down smoke. Throwing smoke.
Okay. So they threw some shit. We know where they're going to be, or at least we know where some of them are going to be. It could be a fake still. Could just be like aggressive play. Getting under, I'm going to be, Gunth is going to be on CT. And I am also behind him CT with a deagle because I think I wasn't totally sure what I was wanting to buy. Get good pick from there. Nice little offy angle. I think you need to be scared of one person coming out right there is immediately being aware of and scared of another person coming out. Or even out of Palace. I try and prioritize my position, or like my you throw that shit to me, I like it.
I'm throwing a grenade. Flashback. Deploying flashbang.
Why did you? Did you think I guess you might have been scared that your position was compromised. I like sitting here just for the fucking the teamwork. God, what a good flash. Maybe with the pistol right there, maybe it was like you were baiting, but I think you could have done it a little bit more economically with Jiggle peeking like behind and forth with the head glitch. Just making them having to hit your head, and then the same way that you're just aiming for their head too. Right. It's like you could have had the best of both worlds, because you don't have to get out of their vision so much so they can ignore you, and you're baiting the bait, but you're still a big threat, huge threat. If that makes any sense. Right, they did a fast one, or a fast rush last time, so we're just doing some I think like plus EV grenades. I'm not too greedy with getting like the juicy grenades, but rather like punishing them for getting into certain positions too quickly. Yeah, Gunspot, really just a switch to him for a second. I think this was scary. It's like his throwing that nade revealed where he was, and some coming up cat is able to peek him like that, and they could have wallbanged to kill him. And he has to then peek into other people. Oh, and you're just fucking him up. I wasn't even watching. I'm sorry. I was just commenting on guns. I think that like where you throw grenades from is like a sort of spatial, or a sort of spatial awareness that a lot of people aren't paying attention to at this level, because it tells the enemy a lot of shit. Like even when it comes down to like amount of bounces, and because that can tell you like if it arced like from really high up or something. Like that, like the amount of bounces that tells you is like a run smoke when you threw it and it went fast and it skipped like a rock on a lake. I'm still watching Buns. So what's important is when you get to con. Yeah. So right there you got one. And then you just got two more. And you're just tapping it down. I like the decision to tap it because fuck the Flawless spray, especially at that range. It's gonna be fucked up. We know. Okay, yeah, we heard one guy playing on B. You know, one more is bottom con. I think that you just go to B side. I don't think that you want to try and get that flank, because if he is already up there, then you're now way out of. You're way behind in terms of rotating. And you don't want to follow him under, because if he did go under and you're trying to follow him under, then he can hear you the entire way and you'll still be far behind if you don't run with him. It's just this felt risky. I think right here at this point, when you've cleared all this shit, you run market and you go with your teammate. But yeah, you heard him apps, so that's a thing now. Bunch just had a good presence of mind for it to defuse it. I think he probably should have called the I think we were just so hype on on getting the defuse that we didn't care, but he probably should have called that he jumped out so that you might have been ready for it. You gave that shit to me. Quick molly. I think you just have an inkling that they might be ready for that shit, because it worked for them one round and their money might be bad. But no, they're teased. They got a fuck ton. Ghost Mullen has $13,000. Insane. They got to pick mid on me. We got to pick mid on them. I'm trying to get a good flank on this. I like clearing Palace because it gives you a lot of peace of mind. But at this point, we haven't heard much A. They might be posturing towards B. Depending on how much noise they might appear, Whether or not like we had the call out for it, I think that getting over to B as soon as possible might be our priority. And clearing apps and going for the flank is just very slow, especially if they have someone top mid and you have to run through T-spawn. And then it's just like, okay, he's flank. Then they're ready for it.
Throwing fire.
But if we chose, okay, it looks like we are choosing. I might just scratch what I said because we're playing two on B and then we're playing 1 on A. I think you might just end up playing for sound on A in Palace, because if you if they ended up coming out here late, or they think they might have an advantage, then that's it. You gave up your position to try and peek A ramp. Your position in Palace is much stronger than a flash out and a peek into A ramp. They can hear the flash. They can react to it from that proximity. They have AKs and you have a FAMAS. I think that's just a bad duel. And we killed 1 on B, so now you're trying to get the rotate. You heard 1 cat, of course. And you're going market. I like that. Don't make it too fancy. Bunt is holding the cat push. Gets that. That's good. Nick calls it out. We hear the bomb plant. Ready. Shooting through the wall. No, he faked it. Yeah, this was like, he was probably going to be ready to peek door. I understand it's just like the time scarcity of like, we need to get out onto site and like get a good position. But you have to go through the entire doorway, and he can hear your footsteps from over there. He can hear your footsteps from behind the pillar. So he has a lot of time to take that fight, hear you, react, and peek you. Which he has the advantage from. Obviously, he has Speaker's advantage. But you got scared away, and he missed his shots. That's good. Yeah, right here, he'd be a fucking madman to push you. Yeah, holding default. Good hold. I like that because then he was going to be isolated in this position. Again, I think that he won that due to just due to crosshair placement, I guess. If it was a little bit better, you could have got the quick headshot, and it would have been over a lot faster. Let's just watch Bunt clutch this shit, because we know we win this in the end. He's on cursed. Insane spot to hold post plant. That's crazy. And Guns just fucks him up. But your positioning on that last fight was A1. Like being able to isolate him, and I can't move anymore because it's post game. Being able to isolate that angle and like keeping him in default, very strong play. I like that awareness. It's juicy. Okay, I did a lot of rambling on a bunch of different shit. I'm not sure how much of this was effective or like good critique on what I talked about, like how much you know about it. I don't even know if you might agree with all of the strategy things. Probably should stray away from talking about the strategy because that's not what I give a lot of my brain space to think about. I do think about individual play more than anything else, and kind of game sense and improving mechanics. My macro scale teamwork shit, I just leave that to you and Eric because that's what you guys like. So I guess like improving in terms of like aim and crosshair placement and everything. Deathmatch is good. Watching pros play, trying to emulate the way that their crosshair moves whenever they're not really doing anything or when they're not really expecting anyone. Like if they're fucking, let's just go to a map really quick. Where's the one? The thing I was talking about earlier, where it's like you're able to turn the corner and it's like really smooth, and it's like the shit that pros are able to do. This is kind of what I mean. I'm not good at it, obviously, but because I'm really so good. But like being able to, I guess like being able to like stay on a head, and like and react like with your movement. It's like your hand-eye coordination, but it's hand-hand coordination. But your player eye. And like no matter what your movement is, you can go with it and it's smooth. Like you can turn a corner and you're ready for someone. I'm not smooth. I'm not warmed up. I'm not good. But it's a good skill. And obviously, the jiggle peeking, what I was talking about. Let's see, what's the one with the peak spray walls? Yeah. That, like being able to, imagine if this is the left side of con and you're under right here. And you're trying to come out, or I guess under right here. You want to shoot that. You don't have to pre-fire it, but that's what you're looking at. If you don't want to pre-fire it, or if you have your Glock or something, your Glock is fine to have out because you're fast. You're ready, you can just shoot. And it's just so strong. Not bad. And what I practiced a lot, or what I try and be totally aware of at all times, is like having the, like if you're gonna like do that peek out, it's like where are you placing your crosshair before you peek out, and where are you expecting to look as you turn the corner. And again, your timing with your fucking, with the way you stop moving is important, because it's so easy to fucking turn the corner and you just fire at the wrong time and your shot just goes wild. But either way, I think you know a lot of the mechanics of the game and comes out in practicing it more. What I did a lot is this shit. I did that for a long time. I do deathmatch. I haven't done nearly as much solo practice in a long fucking time. But yeah. I love you, Bobby. Sorry this took so long.